Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. It's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Today is the last live stream that we're going to have this week because tomorrow morning, very early, I head out, hopefully, to Houston for the marathon. I'll be running the half marathon that weekend, or this weekend. And I say hopefully that I'll be able to fly out early is because there's some weather coming in through the Midwest. We're supposed to get a lot of snow on Friday. I've already been getting emails about like rearranging my flight if I want to. Although, I don't read too much into that because I get those all the time. Anytime there's any sort of storm coming. But it was, I think the storm forecasts are bad enough that this morning at the bus stop, all the other moms and dads were talking about like, I think we're going to get a lot of snow tomorrow. So it's bad when that's the small talk for the day. But hopefully I'll already be on the road, parked at the long-term parking or, the offsite parking, and I'll be on my way to Houston where I'm hopefully going to be able to see some of you guys. Today we got a package from Ultimate Direction. At least I think that's what it is. It comes from, it didn't say like Ultimate Direction on it. It's just like a regular box. So I think that's what it is. I'm expecting something from them. So we'll see what it is inside. But first, let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio-only version on the podcast. Maybe you're listening to this right now during the storm. And if it is, hopefully you're staying safe out there and upright on your feet and enjoying some nice big puffy flakes. Those are my favorite kind. I don't like it when it's a real dry snow and it just like pelts you and hurts. I wish for you big puffy snow and lots of great tread underfoot. And for everyone that's watching this later, but not live on YouTube, welcome to you guys as well to the number one place to sort through all the junk mail that you got in your mailbox because it piles up because you don't get it every day because it's always junk mail anyway. So why would you get it every day? Maybe this is the day that you're sorting through that junk mail. And this is a really great podcast to be listening to in the background while you're doing that. All right. It looks like we got a birthday in here today. Eliza says, happy birthday to Thomas Dwen. So if that's your birthday, Thomas, happy birthday. Daniel Estrella wants to know how was career day. And that wasn't today. That's going to be the day before I leave for Orlando. So that'll be at the end of the month. January 31st is going to be career day. So yeah, that I'm really looking forward to career day quite a bit. I feel like I'm going to have a really underwhelming booth. I worry that for career day at my daughter's school that they're going to be like a YouTuber is going to be there and they're going to think that I'm like David Dobrik. I'm going to make something explode foam wise, and that's not my kind of YouTube channel. So hopefully they're not upset and disappointed with me, but David P says, all right. Weather report. David P says Houston today, it's 70 degrees, but it's not going to be on Sunday. I've been seeing, I think it was Midlife Runner. I don't know if you're here today, but Midlife Runner was posting about it on Threads. He said that it's supposed to be like ridiculous weather on Monday. Super windy, really cold, not good running conditions. But he said that Sunday's supposed to be good running conditions. I, again, haven't really looked too closely. I'll be packing my bags later tonight, so that's when I'll really, really look. But so far from what I've been hearing, around the internet, it's supposed to be good weather, so good running weather. I thought last I heard from Midlife Runner was 50s and no wind, so that's about as good as I could ask for, I think. And here we go. Thomas One says it's celebrating a birthday with us today. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Happy birthday. And he ran 4.7 miles on the slick trails this morning in Columbus, Ohio. Well, I'm glad you made it back safely and happy birthday. Mark Peterson says, hi, everyone. Sunny for the first time in a long time in Minneapolis today. Well, that's good to hear, Mark. Hopefully you guys are doing well. And hopefully the baby's doing well. Mark and his wife had a baby earlier this year, so I hope everyone's healthy and happy. AJ says, cool and cloudy in Florida, 64 degrees. Look at these emojis. What's this cloud emoji that's in here? Are you guys seeing this in the chat? I've never seen it. What is that? Oh, it's like a beach emoji too with an umbrella in the sand. I've never seen that. Those are fancy emojis. Cobalt Blue says, I was so overdressed on last night's run. It was 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 68 humidity and wind. I layered it up like it was below freezing. It could be tricky this time of year, but For me, I would always rather come back sweaty and damp than be cold on the run. As much as I love cold weather running, I do not like being cold. So I end up being overdressed quite a bit, you know? All right. Santan says, all right, I guess it's going to be cold for you, Santan. She says, I don't even know what to wear for 12 degrees. All my clothes? I think it depends on the kind of run it's going to be. Is it going to be a workout or is it going to be just a regular kind of easy run? I'm assuming you mean easy run. And for that, 12 degrees, it depends. For me, it'll depend on how windy it's going to be. If it's going to be windy, I might wear 2 layers of pants. Like if you've got like a base layer, like Under Armour or like kind of tights, and then put my running pants on top of that. And then I've over the years accumulated a bunch of like kind of windproof, thicker jogging pants to have that are kind of just like extra padded. Or if I'm doing tights, fleece line tights work great. So it might be 2 layers of pants. And then up top, I'll do like, today I have a merino base layer. This one's from Soar. And then I have a quarter zip. This is more like a half zip from New Balance. If it's 12 degrees, I would probably also want a shell on top. I might not do a quarter zip and I might not do 3 layers. I would at least do 2. And then mittens. At 12 degrees, I might do thin gloves, mittens, and also hand warmers, depending on how good and how cold your hands get. My hands get really cold. And then up top, I would do a neck gaiter and then a winter hat or a balaclava. That's kind of how I would do it. Whew. 12 sounds cold, but I think next week will be a really nice recovery week for me because I think when I get back from Houston, it's going to be literally 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So, yeah. All right. AJ says, so we're going back to AJ's emojis. He had a weird cloud emoji and a very fancy beach emoji. He said, I didn't type in the cloud emoji like that. It's weird how it showed up on your screen. Interesting. And Brian Booth says, this Houston forecast changes so much, I'm going to have to just bring 3 shirts and decide that morning which to wear. I'm just going to go with the Kofuzi Run Club singlet, the team singlet. That's what I've decided I was going to wear a long time ago. The last time I was in Houston to race was 2020, and it was supposed to be like 50 degrees or something like that. And I wore a t-shirt and arm sleeves because I was like, 50 degrees in the winter is different than 50 degrees in the summer. It's going to feel cold, but it was humid. And then later in the day for the marathon, the sun came out. And so I was definitely overheated a bit. And so I think that I'm just going to go with the team singlet. If it's 50 degrees at the start, that feels really warm. I think it might feel like chilly coming out of like I was in bed and then from the hotel to outside. So I'll have a jacket that I'm going to throw away. But I'm definitely going to do singlet if it's 50. But I don't know. I have to double check. All right. Lalapi says, have you talked about the price of the Rebel 4? I believe that the Rebel 4 is $140. Let me see if I have a spec sheet over here. I can't show it to you guys if I have a spec sheet. But I think I have one. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah. I do have a spec sheet. And yeah. Price is going to be $140 for the Rebel 4 whenever it comes out. I don't know when it comes out. JC says, careful with the Planco of doing just the singlet. Should I bring arm sleeves just in case? I'll bring arm sleeves. And video says, always singlet even to freezing if you're going hard. Yeah, I think that's about right. Although, like, I do think back to, like, what was it? The year that Des won Boston? Was it 2018? The really cold and rainy year? That was, I think, Sage ran that year too, and he came like with hypothermia, you know. Frank says singlet with arm warmers down to 32. I think that makes sense. I'll bring the arm warmers. I don't think I'm gonna need them. But I'm gonna do singlet, half tights. I'm not sure which half tights I'm gonna bring. I don't know. I'm my default is to just wear the rabbit ones. Maybe I'll go with the bandit ones. Probably go with the rabbit ones. That would be all right with rabbit top and bottom. And then I have a surprise too for you guys. For my race kit, you'll have to wait till tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night I'll probably put my flat layout. But I got a surprise for you guys too. All right, Miles' channel says, Miles, is this you in this picture over here? Miles, or is that your kid? I'm going to assume that this is Miles talking. Miles says, speaking of the New Balance Rebel, I can't think of another shoe that's changed so much in appearance year over year. Looks like 4 totally different shoes. I completely agree. Is there any other shoe that has changed more than the New Balance Rebel? That is a great question. Because like I have version 1, and remember it had that weird side lateral flare? It was so strange. I did like it though, because it kind of had that crystal rubber on the bottom. Then version 2 became this thing, and it looked kind of like a slipper almost up top. It was really comfortable. And this year, Rebel version 2 was the first year, like, I think most of us got introduced as habanero as a color. Remember that? And I really love the way that this heel fit. Floppy. It's got a little bit of Achilles flare, but like this material was nice and soft. And then we got to version 3, which I think that this is absolutely stunning, especially in the all white. I think they called it Frost. I just think this looked really nice. And then now we're on to version 4, which is this. I don't know. I mean, the only other ones that I can think of that have changed as much would be other New Balance shoes. Like think about the Fresh Foam More, from version 1 to 2, 3, 4, and then I don't know if you guys have seen 5 coming up, but that looks completely different as well. I don't know. I don't know what other shoe would be so different. Prime X has changed quite a bit from that Prime X. From this thing, remember this? It had a full tongue this year. No, actually, it still had a kind of a weird tongue. But this thing to Prime X Strung, right? This is still considered a Prime X, even though the drop changed on the shoe. And then we went to Prime X Strung 2 to this. That's pretty different. That's pretty different as well. But I can't think of a lot of other shoes that have changed more. That's a good call. That's a good call. I love that comment. Eliza says, are we going to get some pizza tights? That would be great. That'd be amazing. Just like a little slice of, do you guys remember the first pizza shirt that we did for the Kafuzi Run Club? It was the deep dish pizza for the Chicago Marathon, that one. It wasn't Chicago Marathon, but it was during the Chicago Marathon weekend when it says like the cheese and sauce are dripping and it said Kofuzi on that. I've been using that as my logo when I invoice people as well. That'll be, I don't know, maybe we should put that on a pair of tights. I don't own that image though. Asics made that image and I don't know who the artist that they used is, so I'd have to probably figure that out. But I do like that image quite a bit. So, yeah, pizza tights. I kind of like it. That would be a good collab if I ever did something with, what's that? Spirits? What's that hat that they make? I think you see them at like Fleet Feet all the time, and it's got like donuts and hot dogs and stuff on it. Does anyone know what the brand of that? I feel like that would be a good collab to do with them. Yeah, Martha's like chicken legs could be another one. Yeah, that could be a good one. Oh, Matt Anderson says the Hoka Rocket. So, I mean, like we're on, what is it, Rocket X2 now? So it's only Rocket and then Rocket X2. Right, but then there was the Carbon Rocket didn't change that much. But that's pretty different from 2. I think to be in this discussion of change the most, you got to have at least 3 iterations, right? Yeah. But yeah, that one did change quite a bit. But I think it needed to for that one. All right, Mark says, I never got my pizza shirt from Asics. Oh, well, I'll just make sure to get one at Chicago this year. I will follow up on that one for you guys. Now that kind of dust has settled from like the end of last year, I'll try and follow up. Sega Dreamcast says, which Asics tee was the Chicago Shakeout tee? My wife complimented the fit the other day. I don't know. I could take a look at it and I'll maybe try to get an answer for you. Sprints. Vanessa Martinez says, Sprints is the brand at Fleet Feet. All kind of fun designs. See, I feel like that. There we go. Juliana says, Sprints, that'll be a perfect collab. I do think that'd be kind of fun. 1 year I did a collab with, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on the name. But our friend Sean and Autumn, I'm drawing a blank on the name of their company. But they did a Chicago Marathon singlet and jacket, which was super cool. I didn't collab with them on that one, but like they did like a kind of in the vein of like a Sprints kind of design, a hat with a bunch of like little Chicago themed graphics on it, and there was a little Kofuzi signature in there too. So that was fun. All right. Cosmic Final Michael says, we need to get a pizza colorway of the Kofuzi Run Club singlet. I kind of like the singlet to just be a very plain color. Yeah. But I have been noticing, so like the Kofuzi Run Club logo has always been a dragon for a long time. I'm not Chinese, but I'm also not Chinese zodiac dragon. But this year is the year of the dragon. So I feel like this is a good year to have. I mean, it's auspicious to have the Kofuzi Run Club logo be a dragon. Who is it? Mike, CLT native. He's got both. There's like I think it was Charlotte Run Company did a collab design with Greg to commemorate the year of the dragon, and so he has that T-shirt and he has also the Kofuzi Run Club singlet. That's a nice duo to have. Both Itahara designs. I think it's pretty cool. I want to get one of those T-shirts too. I mean, I might have to go to Charlotte, you know. Calvin says, I want Kofuzi and CLA. That would be nice. Adam's like, I never heard of Sprints. However, I'm often out of the loop. You've seen it before, Adam. Like if you go to any race expo, any Fleet Feet kind of like booth that's there, you'll see the hats. It's kind of like they're little icons, like almost emojis, all over the place. And it's usually, and they're not yellow like emojis are, but like the colors are fun, the graphics are fun. It's kind of like it just looks like a hat when you look at it, but then if you look closely, it's usually some fun designs. Daniel Estrella says, Kofuzi and CLA and the migration up north. Make it happen. I told you guys the other day, my wife was like, hey, we never went to Toronto. And I was like, I know we haven't. I'm like, I've been talking about it a lot. She's like, not with me, you haven't. I'm like, I know. I've been talking about it on the live stream. I'd like to go to Toronto at some point. Maybe this will be the year. I think a lot of my friends are running the Toronto Marathon this year for some reason. Maybe I'll go cheer them on. I don't know. All right. Mark Peterson says, what is your ratio of GIFs used on Instagram of the Star Trek fist pump to everything else? There's two that I use all the time. It's I find it by searching data yes. When you look for GIFs on Instagram, type in data and yes. And then when he does that fist pump thing and he goes, yeah, that one. And I use approved, where it like stamps approved on it. Those are the two that I use the most. Other than that, I don't think I use that many GIFs. Every once in a while, there's a one of a tired panda that I'll use whenever I'm tired. That's another fun one. All right. Adam Steele saying Toronto Waterfront. Michael Chang says Toronto Marathon debut. I think it depends on what else is going to happen for me in the fall. If I can get into Berlin, then I think the timing would be tough. So that's why I'm saying, like, then I can just go and be there, which would be a lot of fun, and cheer everyone on. But James is saying Vancouver is cooler. Brian Lacanalau. Sorry, I had to look at that for a second. Brian Lacanalau says, Vancouver. I would like to go to Vancouver. I also would like to go back to Seattle. I have some friends that live up there. Oh, I'll be going back up there later this year, kind of, to do Tiger Claw. I'm not signed up yet, but Ethan sent me a registration. So I'm planning on doing that. So after, hopefully I'll be running, well, I don't have a bib yet, but hopefully I'll be running London Marathon in April. And then in May, I'll be running Tiger. So basically, as soon as I recover from London, it's just hills, you know? So that should be fun. I don't know if I'll have enough time really, but, you know, I'll be in good fitness overall. And then it'll just be a matter of, can I handle the vert, you know? Vanessa Martinez says, should we designate Wednesdays as Good Dog Day, or do we need that especially on Monday? I feel like I love this idea, Vanessa, and I think that we should leave Hello Good Dog for Monday. Let's do Mondays. Hello Good Dog is like once a week. Hello Good Dog. Let's bring back the trivia on Tuesdays. We'll try to bring back. Should we bring back guests on Thursdays? I'm gonna try it. We'll see. Calvin says, if you get into Berlin, will you still go to New York City Marathon? Yeah, I'm planning to go. And where to go? Manor Runs said something earlier that he's already put in for PTO for Boston and New York, and I think he put Chicago in there too. I'll be at all of those places. I'm not planning on running any of those three, but I'll be there. I'll be trying to put on events, attending events, seeing you guys, and so yeah. So I'll be there for sure, and filming the races and cheering people on, stuff like that. You know. John Askew says Toronto is fast and flat. I didn't know that. Alex says, what's going on, Herm? He says, I'll be at Toronto Waterfront so I can pace you. There we go. If you can pace me, then yeah, I'll go. No, I'll have to take a look at the calendar, but I'd like to. Because I'm thinking like, well, maybe I go over the weekend and then the kids can come in like later. Because my wife's always like, well, should we go too? I could bring the kids. I'm like, well, I'm just not going to see you for like 3 days if you do that, you know, and then it'll be super annoying for you guys because then you'll be trying to do touristy stuff when the city's full of marathoners. Not just Toronto, but like any city, you know, like Boston or New York or whatever. And so maybe I'll have them come in later. Or maybe my wife will come. We can leave the kids. That's a good idea. James says the Seattle-Vancouver drive is like 3 hours. I always knew it was close. That's closer than I thought. Is there a ferry that goes there? That would be fun. I do get really seasick, but I enjoy ferries. I like the idea of ferries. All right. Where did that go? Martha's talking to Finny Fin, and he had a question. I think Martha's doing a good job of answering that one. But let's talk about that together. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Finny Fin says, I have a training question. I'm supposed to run Boston in April, but moved to 8,000 feet altitude last month and still adjusting to the altitude. Whew, yeah. Is it okay to train lower mileage to compensate? I would say absolutely. If I had moved to 8,000 feet, let's say I moved to, what is even? Is like Crested Butte 8,000 feet? There's not a lot of towns that I can think of that are 8,000 feet. Because like even like, Flagstaff's not that high. It's like 7. Mammoth, California is 8,000 feet, depending on where you are, right? So if I lived up in those areas, I would do 2 things. I would definitely, I wouldn't necessarily reduce my mileage, but I would focus by training a little bit more on time and reduce my pace for everything. And especially in the beginning times, not that I'm an expert at adjusting to altitude, but in my experiences there, it's just like everything's hard. When I was in Mammoth last 2 summers ago, like just walking up a half flight of stairs at the top, I was like, oof, why am I tired? So it's definitely hard to be at that kind of altitude. And if I get much higher than that, like for me, like around 9,000 feet, 10,000 feet, it seems, I can't sleep. I mean, I'll fall asleep, but I don't feel like I'm resting, so it's hard for sure. Yeah, but I would switch to like just running to what feels easy and then running however much time that is. So if you normally run, I don't know, let's say like 10-minute miles and you run for an hour and a half for an easy run, I would just be like, whatever it takes to feel equivalently comfortable and run 90 minutes, until I started feeling better about it. And that could be a long time. Let's see. All right, I've been talking for a while. Oh, Jared Crano says, for Hello Good Dog, if we get Wag Wednesday, making the tails wag, that is kind of fun. I feel like that's a nice way to start off the week, though. Hello Good Dog, start off the week by saying hi to dogs. Did you guys, oh my goodness, yesterday I'm picking up my daughter from climbing team. And I'm going to the gym, and normally I just kind of go in there and I sit down. She's usually wrapping up. But I sit down in my kind of like normal seat that's off to the side at the climbing gym. And as soon as I sit down, a golden retriever comes up to me. I don't know where this dog came from or why there's a dog in the gym. But a golden retriever came up to me. And a lot of times, when you meet a dog, it sniffs you out first. You stick your hand out, let it get a sense of your smell. And then if it's cool with it, then you pat it. This dog came up to me and was just like stuck his hand like under his head underneath my hand and was like, pet me. And so I was just petting this dog for a long time. That was really nice. Might have been the best part of my day yesterday. I don't know. Adam says, Shannon says to have fun in Houston. She can't make it today. Oh, I'm sorry Shannon couldn't make it today, but thanks for sending the message. Oh, James says, but Monday we're supposed to have Monday mukbangs. I know. There's not enough food for me to eat every Monday for me to have Monday mukbangs. Unless I'm really just eating. Like I thought that there would be more food, but I think I've eaten all the food, the runner food. You know what I mean? So maybe we will if I do have a food to eat Monday, do a Monday mukbang. I don't know. Let's play around with it. We'll try different things. And Luis says, golden retrievers are like that. They're definitely not a guard dog. Yeah, there's another there's a really old, like the oldest dog I've ever seen. Golden retriever at the UPS place. I think the guy that owns and runs the UPS store there, it's his dog. This dog is old. I don't even know if this dog can see. But every time I think he can certainly smell me. Because a lot of times I'm there after a run, so I'm sure the dog can smell me. But the dog will walk over to me because now he knows me. So now every time I go pick up packages, it's really nice when the dog's there. And in the summertime, just the way the windows of the storefront are, there's sunshine that comes through, and the dog kind of moves around the front of the store depending on where the sun spots are. And so that's really, so sometimes the dog is like literally, you have to like step over the dog to get into this store. And it seems like everyone that goes to this UPS store knows that. And I really enjoy that about this place. I don't know the dog's name, but I've known the dog for like a year and a half now. And when I met the dog, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be really sad when that dog's no longer here. Because it's very old, but I don't know. Matt Anderson says, I think there's plenty of different food to eat out there, Co. Do you guys really want Monday mukbangs to come back? Okay, maybe we'll do Wag the Dog Wednesday. And then Monday mukbang. Are we bringing Monday mukbangs back? Okay. Maybe. Kevin says, all right, the tallest city in Illinois is Stockton. Is it really? At 994 feet? I was working on a trial one time in Lake County, Illinois, which is east of here and north of Cook County, where Chicago is. And they had built a new courthouse annex building. It wasn't an annex. They already had an annex, but they built this new courthouse building. And it was a tower, a taller building. And it was a lawsuit involving a landfill. And a weird fact that had come out in the course of this litigation is that I think the tallest building in Lake County is that new courthouse building. It was like 7 stories high. That was the tallest building in Lake County. The second tallest man-made structure was the mound that they had created for this landfill. You know how like they pile up, they dig a big hole and they start piling up all the garbage and then they cover it up and all that kind of thing. But that was the second tallest structure in Lake County. I don't know if that's still true or not. This was a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but several years ago. All right. Calvin says, all right, Monday mukbang is you got to make and eat the dishes from different running creators. Ali Ostrander did one for Nick Bear, but thinking of Guru's diabolical toast dish. Okay, I like this idea, Calvin. Okay, we're going to have to start doing that. Like if Feathers has a recipe maybe, or if like Megan does something for like Kodiak cakes, like oatmeal, whatever. When people do that, maybe I'll try that. You know what though? Speaking of Allie did you just see one of her latest videos? She made some macaroni and cheese in the microwave. I don't know what's going on in her apartment, but there was no gas, so she had to take a cold shower, and she couldn't cook, so she made dinner in the microwave. Which first she cooked macaroni shells, right? Which easy enough. Bunch of water, microwave it for a really, really long time. Fine. But then she made some sort of macaroni and cheese with spinach in it. And I don't know what all she put in there, but I don't know if it was cheese, but it looked really good. I don't want to eat that. Maybe I'll ask her what the recipe was. Wilfredo Chupacabra Aguirre says, hey, Co, it's carnival season down south, Mardi Gras. You need to try some king cake while you're in Houston. You can get king cake in Houston? Is that a thing down there? I've had king cake before when I lived in St. Louis. Because St. Louis has Soulard Gras, which is another Mardi Gras type celebration in the Soulard neighborhood. That was fun. Frequently people would have king cake. I don't know if I can have king cake right now though. You know why? I'm actually kind of nervous about it. I had a filling fall out Monday, and I don't know how to make appointments for anything. So my wife emailed the dentist, my kid's dentist, which just recently started taking adult patients. So I was like, all right, can you see if they can get me in? They never even emailed me back. So now it's Thursday. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and I have still this filling that fell out. And I've been eating on the one side of my mouth all week. And I'm worried that if I have a king cake, I'll chomp into the baby right on top of my open filling and crack my teeth. I'm worried. I'm nervous about it. I'm actually really nervous about it. I keep thinking about Nico Montañez when he had 2 Bostons ago, when he had the emergency dental surgery, and it's totally messed him up. I worry that that's what it's going to be. I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. All right, Alf Dickinson says, which park run are you going to run when you do London? Have you done Cornerstones Lake Park Run yet? I love that place. I've never done a park run before. Everyone has their park run thing, right? How do I get one? I got a lot of research to do. I got a lot of work to do. Basically, the moment Houston's done, all eyes on figuring out what's going to happen for London, you know? And JC says, you know what? King cake, you can get that all over Texas. Oliver confirms. Okay. Yeah. Daniel Burton says, Code, did you like the 1080 version 13? I love the 1080 version 13. I think it's very much a daily trainer now. Kind of did daily trainer / max cushion stuff before, but I really like it now. And I didn't realize this until way after I had made my video about it. And then I saw Ben Parks' video about it. And his video, the whole premise is everyone seems to hate this shoe, so let's see what it's all about. And he posted like all these like screenshots of people's comments about hating the 1080. And I was like, what? Why do people hate this? Why are people so mad about it? And I got a lot of that too in my video. But my video was the weird comments that I got on my video. And these are the most bizarre. And I feel like I don't want to necessarily discourage like discussion on shoes because this is like an enthusiast channel. That's what we do. But a lot of the comments that I got on the 108013 that were negative were not, I tried this, I didn't like it, I disagree with you. That makes sense. I'll talk about that all day. Like, all right, well, tell me what other shoes you like, and maybe there's a pattern. Maybe you just like firmer shoes, or maybe you like softer shoes. Maybe you like stability. You know, you can figure it out. And, you know, it's not quite so like dissonant. How can one person love a shoe and another person hate it? But a lot of the comments that I got on the 108013 were, I can't believe you like this shoe because someone else said that they don't like it. And I was like, what? I don't understand. And it was a lot of just like, someone else that I know tried this and they said it was terrible. So therefore you must be wrong. And I'm like, or hear me out. Two people can have different opinions on the same shoe. They didn't like it and I did. They would never mention the people, you know what I mean? They're like, all the other reviewers said they hate this. I'm like, I haven't, personally, I don't care. I don't look at other people's reviews before I make a review. I don't really even look at too many of them afterwards either. But I don't know, it was really weird. It was strangely hostile. Like there was a lot of energy, very negative, secondary energy. Like it wasn't people that tried it and were like, I can't believe I spent however much the 1080 cost. What is it? 160, 165, something like that. They weren't like, I can't believe I spent this much money and I don't like the shoe. You know, it wasn't them. It was like referred anger or like assumed, you know what I mean? I couldn't figure it out. Eliza says, people need to calm down. Yeah, I don't know. And it's a hard life set. It's because it's too soft and squishy. That's why a lot of people don't like it. People have different biomechanics and gait. Yeah, I can see that, but I'm like, it's a change from 1080 version 12. Was there a progression from 1080 version 10 or even version 9? I didn't try 9, but like from 10 to 13, there's a progression, you know? So yeah, but like, that's also fine. I can get it. So like, for example, like I really like the Nimbus. Some people love the old one, or some people really like a Bondi or a Glycerin, right? I can totally understand. This is not my preference. I tried it. I tried to like it. I don't. Fine. But it's really rare. There's only like one other shoe that maybe two other shoes that I can think of where people are like, other people, not me, other people tried this and they disagree with you. So I'm calling you out. Right. And that's kind of what I felt like was happening with this shoe. And I couldn't figure it out. It's really bizarre. And what's even more bizarre, I didn't actually make it to the end of Ben Park's video, but I'm assuming he liked it. Is that like, I guess it didn't come out yet. It'll come out tomorrow. I interviewed Philly Bowden. Now she is a New Balance athlete. And so she's not going to say anything bad about a shoe. But I asked her in the interview, like what shoes, she's in Flagstaff. I don't know if she's over to Houston yet because she's running Houston this weekend too. But like she only brought a handful of shoes and one of them was the 1080. And because she likes it, you know? And then I read the Lap Count newsletter yesterday. I don't know who the kid is. He's a high school kid, I think. Signed an NIL deal with New Balance. He's going to run at Notre Dame. And they were like, they asked him, what's his favorite shoe? And he said, the 1080 version 13. I love it. And I'm like, and he also, keep in mind, this is a high school kid, but he goes, I've been running with the 1080 my entire career. I remember starting running with it at the 1080 version 11, and I've loved it ever since. I think the 1080 13 is the best one. Yeah. Which made me feel really old, but you know. So it just, I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of times where people don't like shoes. Stevie76 said, has Kicks didn't like it? That's interesting. But like, usually the only other brand where if I say I don't like something, where people get really upset because someone else they know disagrees with me, not them, but someone else they know disagrees with me, is usually like if I say something about a Nike shoe. Like if I say I don't like the Pegasus, they'll be like, well, my running buddy, he says that he loves it. And I'm like, he probably does. You know, and they get really mad about it. I'm like, but did you try it? What did you think? You know, I don't know. It's just the 1080 is going to be one of those hot button shoes for some reason amongst people that haven't tried it themselves. I think, you know. Oh, Eliza says, okay, box. Forget those negative peeps. Good idea. Let's transition to what's in the box. So Ultimate Direction had some wild stuff at the running event this year. And I can't remember if I told them that it might be a little bit too wild for me. I don't want it. But I do remember saying like, but can you send me like this, and this? And they were like, oh yeah, absolutely. We've had those for a while. I'm like, I know, but I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit. That's my fault. I'd really like to try some of those things. So I don't know what's in here. So we'll see. I don't know why it's such a big box either. It wasn't that heavy, so it's not like there's heavy things in here. Okay, first thing that we got in here is the Utility Belt Plus in Onyx. So you guys know I am a sucker for a good waist pack. And this one caught my eye because it has this magnetic clasp thing here. Can we see that? See? And then it clicks in. Did you guys hear that? So it clicks in. It's got a nice big pouch in the back. It's not like a full wraparound like a flip belt, right? So it's got like, it's thinner in the front. All the storage is kind of in the back here. But it does have some storage for poles, which is something that I'm starting to use these days. And I'm realizing that I don't really have a great way of storing them. So this is going to be really useful for me. This might be something that I bring for Tiger Claw. Has anyone run it before? Is that course going to be good for running with poles, or is it just going to be too technical that shouldn't even bother? I don't know. Lawrence Howe wants to know if it's Batman approved. I think so. There's no shark spray on it, but I'm sure you could attach a shark spray to it. All right, it's got like kind of like a side pocket almost, so like kind of like below the kidneys. Little stash pockets here. It's got a big compartment here. You could probably fit a little bit of a water bottle in there if you wanted to. A zipper pocket, and then one place that you could maybe put poles, or I think this is more for a jacket. It's grippy on the bottom here. And then you do have these little ties for the poles. I think I'm really excited to use this one. I'm also thinking about upgrading my iPhone. I have the iPhone 13 mini because I like small phones, but the cameras are driving me crazy. And so I'm thinking about getting the iPhone 15 Pro Max because it has 10x optical zoom. And I feel like that could be a nice kind of like compromise between like me trying to run with my good camera in a pack and also the difficulty of a kind of like running and filming with a big camera. I don't know. But if I have a phone that's big, it's not going to fit in regular pockets. So like a good utility belt could be useful, you know? All right, next. They sent me tights. Did you know Ultimate Direction makes tights? I did not know that they make tights. Look at how this is packaged. But I saw it on the mannequin and I was like, wait, you guys make tights? I need to see some of those tights. So they sent me a pair. Here we go. Zipper pocket in the back. Really big side pockets on each thigh. Drawstring to keep things nice and cinched. And got some reflective elements on the bottom with a zipper on the lower calf to get it on and over shoes if you need to switch shoes. And it says Ultimate Direction on the bottom of one of the legs. So this will be nice and useful for sure. Very excited for these. And then they sent me this. I think I might take this to Houston with me. So this is something that they have. This is a really big pack. But on a lot of my running adventures, and not necessarily just trail running adventures, I mentioned the thing where do I bring a big phone? Do I bring a real camera? Even my GoPro, I feel like, is not enough. And how do I carry all this stuff when I'm like traveling? Maybe I'm on airplanes, that kind of thing. So they have this. It's called the Fast Pack 30 liters. It's kind of like a run commute bag is how I'm viewing it. It's called the Fast Pack, so clearly it's for fast packing, but that's not what I think of when I see this bag. So it's got a big opening up top with Velcro that you can stuff everything in there, and then you do the roll it down thing. And then it has little clasp things so you can secure it. Lots of zipper storage for easy access of things. So there's lots of pockets. This big pack, so you could, if you have a jacket that you're taking on and off, goes in there really nice and easy. Water bottle slots back here. You could probably also put poles on that side too, if you needed to. Or a tripod, if you got a little one that fits in there. And then you've got front storage as well, which could be really convenient if it's like a filming day, or just when I'm traveling, stick a GoPro in there, phone in somewhere else. You know, just lots of stash stuff. And it's built for running or fast packing. So it's got sternum straps. Yeah, I'm really excited to try and travel with this thing. So I'll bring this to Houston, see how it goes. The last bag that I've been using was also really good, and it being kind of almost too big. And it's not something that I could really run with. So like, I like this. This will definitely get some use here. I don't even know what I have to explore some more. This is a pretty cool bag. It's a lot bigger than I remember, but like when I fly, my carry-on is usually like my laptop, my camera, all my lenses, because I don't want to check any of those lenses. Well, every once in a while I'll check a lens. If I've got if I like a padded case for it, batteries, cables. Sometimes I'll bring my microphones with me if I'm really worried about that. So there's just a lot of stuff that I got to get in there. So this will be nice. Looks like there's a lot of easy access to all my things when I'm going. So there, that was in the box. All right. Let's see. Frank says the bubble thumbs up is new. It says give the thumbs up. What does that mean? Is there a new emoji that's in there? I don't know. Scuba Sun says, dealing with a big phone, I have the S23 Ultra, can be challenging. That phone also, does that phone have 5x optical zoom? I don't know. And the Lawrence Haas says, I have the 15 Pro Max and I use a flip belt and it fits that. Okay, well, that's good that it'll fit in a flip belt. That's good to know. All right. Thanks for the updates, guys. I'm thinking, I think I'm probably going to upgrade my phone. Is what I'm thinking. Because I was looking at maybe I'll get a really nice point and shoot, something that's kind of small, maybe the size of a phone and the thickness of an action camera, because that could slide into a lot of pockets, but at that point, it's not as good as the camera on an iPhone for a lot of them, or it's comparable. And at that point, I'm should I just get an iPhone? I don't know. So many decisions. Patrick Smith says, zoom with your feet, not your camera. I know, but sometimes it's hard if you are, say, stopped by a barrier if you're at a race, or if you are on a mountaintop. Getting a landscape using a GoPro isn't always great, and the other time would be if I'm at a panel, like the event that I went to at TRE, where I was, the media event was with Molly Seidel and Rory Linkletter for the Puma Fast R2. I had a good seat. My GoPro wasn't doing great in the weird lighting inside that coffee shop, and my phone did okay. I would have liked to have gotten something with a little bit more zoom to it to get some better shots. So, you can't always move. That's the thing. Stevie and Company says the Osmo Pocket 3 is what you're looking for, a built-in gimbal. It isn't what I'm looking for. Because I've looked at that and I'm thinking, well, that could be the good vlog, like a vlog camera, or it could be the camera that I bring for trail running adventures. They do have clip-on lenses for the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I don't know if they're DJI brand or someone else is making them, but I saw clip-on lenses. But they're for macro, and I want 5x telephoto, So that's what I'm looking for. I would love for the GoPro, have the interchangeable lenses and you could do the max lens. The max lens gets you extra wide. I don't want extra wide. I want zoom in. I just would love to be able to have a 4x zoom if I could have a 4x zoom lens on a GoPro, that would solve all my problems. Solve so many problems, not all my problems, but many of them. If they had that on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, it would be worth buying just for that limited use case, but so it leaves me kind of scrambling. I've been thinking about it for a long time, Yeah, Calvin Song says about phones though, I'm holding on to my 13 mini until I can. I love this size. I could go even smaller. I would love to go even smaller. If they could I would pay a hefty premium if they could give me the 4S. Remember that size phone? If they could give me the 4S with a new chip or a newish chip and the 10x telephoto lens, I would pay twice as much for the phone for that. Yeah. Tristanis95 says, let's start a GoPro lens company. I've looked around for it and I've been trying to find aftermarket GoPro zoom lenses for years now. And I think the reason why they don't exist must be because you'd have to crop in on the sensor funny and it just doesn't work. I don't think it's a demand problem. I think that there's a optics problem with it. I don't know. But is GoPro listening? I don't think they do. They've never reached out to me before, ever. I don't think. So it would be a surprise if they're listening now. But yeah. Video says, did I miss the details on the Houston Shakeout Run 10 a.m. where? And we will end on this one for today because I got another phone call after live stream today that I got to go to. Houston Shakeout Run, Saturday morning, 10 a.m., 105 Sabine Street. That's where, right at the Buffalo Bayou, there's the There's like a little roundabout in there, and there's a visitor center. Do you guys know where that is? It's relatively close to downtown. The place that I originally wanted to do it, Farah had recommended it. It is like, was it a memorial park or something like that? Looks beautiful. It's just recently redone. There's a track over there too. I thought maybe a shakeout run on a track might be super fun, depending on how many people are there, you know? Like if there was a lot, it would just be an endless circle of people. That'd be kind of fun. But it's much further away from downtown. So like most of the people I feel like would have to have Ubered to get there. I know a lot of people that are local are probably going to drive there no matter where I put it. But I felt like for the people that are staying kind of downtown, they would have all had to Uber. And I felt like that would have been not ideal. So we're doing the same place we did it last year. And then I made a little loop that's 1.4 miles, 1.3 miles long. And no, did I do one? No, I did one big loop. It's like 2.5 miles. One big loop, 2.5 miles. So that's it. Yeah. Video says it's by the skate park. Exactly. Right there. Yeah. JC says waterworks or something other. Yeah. Yeah. That's also there too. Yeah. Oh, Calvin said there might be traffic closures for the Texas games depending on the area. There's a Texans game going on. You know what's interesting is really weird side question. So they're doing the jet suit demos, I think Friday and Saturday. I think in that kind of like post race area. I'm not sure exactly where, but there'll be jet suit demos there. I guess if it's Friday or Saturday. But Houston's having a marathon and a Texans game at the same time. That seems like bad. Oh, it's playoff football. Okay. Interesting. But I wonder if they're going to have problems getting the jet suit up in the air. I wonder if you have to have FAA clearance to fly that thing. I don't know. Video says, all right, don't worry. It's a different part of town for the Texans game. Bring your skateboard for the shakeout. That'd be fun. All right. That's going to be it for today, guys. No live stream tomorrow. Travel day for me. I look forward to seeing a bunch of you guys in Houston Saturday. I'll be going to the expo Friday. See you guys at the shakeout Saturday. Hopefully after the race. If I don't see you at the race, hopefully I'll see you afterwards. Meet me by the Michelob Ultras. That's probably where I'll be. Because who could say no to an Ultra? You know? It's just, yeah. Meet me over there. I'll see you guys. And then if I don't see you guys at any of those places, I'll see you guys on Monday. All right? Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Till I see you guys again. Be safe. Bye.